sauce.
That's it. Hi, everybody.
Hey, Frank.
Guys doing okay? Let's go. Beautiful Thursday. Hope everybody's having a good one. And then can't wait to be back home at NRG. Of course, the Tennessee Titans had to hire the legend, John Bones Fassel. So we know that with going against Coach Fassel that, man, you have to be the sharpest team on the field because they are always prepared, always sneaky, always ready to challenge your leverage, challenge your discipline. And he's been doing that as long as I've been alive. So, you know, we have to we've got to make sure we play with great detail and discipline this week, find a way to start the game on our terms and make sure that every time we stand up to their size rushers, their size coverage players, and anchor and really play with really good fundamentals and physicality because the Titans tape, it jumps off the tape with how physical they play. So I'm excited for the opportunity to get ourselves going here. Take your questions.
Last year you got him on the fake punt. You said you kind of sniffed it out when you ran it with the Cowboys. What is tape study like with him, someone that kind of fearless approach, and do you expect that fearless approach to increase given the fact that they're desperate for a win just like y'all?
Yeah, I don't really think that that should play into how they are. To me, like, you only coach to be within your stuff. When you start reaching, then it's then things go haywire. It might buy you a few moments of like, oh, we can really do that. No, that's like, what are your core values? And that's their core value is, his has been, he's willing to try things. And for us, we know that they've added Johnny Hekker, who is the ultimate 26 career passes as a punter. Like, he's the ultimate weapon as a punter. So we definitely have to be prepared for that. And all while we want to play aggressive. Like, again, we want to start the game on our terms. We want to play aggressive. So it shouldn't change our rules. It just challenges how hard you can stay locked in and focused on your rules and how you play, whether it's a gimmick or just sound football all around. So for us, that may come into play, but like the game between the whistles, between the white lines, you got to win your one-on-one matchups. That's never going to change either. So we just got to make sure we're playing within the scheme, within the rules, and aggressively on our terms.
A couple of shorter punts for Tommy in this most recent one. Was that just a couple of mishits?
Well, I think, if anybody was on field level, I think a couple things. First off, it was swirling pretty good. Whether you're choosing to kick with or against the wind, and then it's changing mid-quarter. So that's the job of a specialist, to be able to handle the elements and tailor your specific kick as you're going onto the field and get that as best you can. And it definitely drifted towards the Jaguars sidelines, and that on the one punt out of bounds, it left it kind of short or just right at that 20 when you're trying to pin them a little bit deeper. So, no one's going to question Tommy's leg strength. And that's one thing that has definitely been a weapon for him. And for him to just get back to the next punt every single time, it's a new entity when you go on the field, and just lock in on each one. So, has had a great start to the week, and we'll make sure that we get ourselves going there on Sunday at noon.
You have a personnel change like CJ Gardner-Johnson, MJ Stewart, defensive role expands. How do you fill in for a guy like that?
Yeah, and I think I think we've said this before, a similar question with whether it's returners or it's always football players first, and we train there's no word of mastery for it, but you have to always be ready for things to happen mid-game. We lost Tremon Smith from special teams last week because Stingley goes down. Tremon's a core special teamer for us. So at any point in time, part of my job requirement of me for the rest of the coaching staff is to be able to adjust on the fly. So it doesn't matter who it is, whether you're asking a question about MJ, maybe taking on a defensive role, that's going to be great. He's going to go play, and he's still, MJ's a core special teams player. So we'll adapt where we need, and just knowing that my job every week from Monday through Sunday of the game day is to get all 70-some players that we have in our building ready to play football on special teams.
These teams have went to this knuckleball kickoff style. How hard is that to prepare for when you're going through your preparations?
Yeah, and I think there are kickers that are better or allowed to try to be more aggressive. The kid for the Los Angeles Rams he's got a true knuckleball. Some guys that kind of have a winding or just a lower drive hang time. Some guys are trying to lower hang and punch it, but they're distance or I'd say your distance control is imperfect, so finding the sweet spot, it is hard to prepare for. You lower the jugs and off the live foot from your kicker, but you can't replicate every time how each opponent's kicker is going to do it. So if you're facing a lefty punter and you have a righty punter, you can't just punt it left-footed, as an example. So for us, I'm out there trying to replicate Johnny Hekker and hit different style of punts and banana footballs, which are when they spin inside outward, both directions. Whatever we have to do, but you got to study and you got to be ready to react and play football. And I think we've had this question before, but just playing center fielder, getting a good crack off the bat, and make sure you're there to jump it and then not let that ball get to the ground. That's the best way to attack those. Okay, let's go get a win. See you guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.